and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 5 of the GFreak Speaks podcast. I'm your host, Jacko GFreak for the afternoon, and we're joined by RAINE, Digital Right. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, mate. Excited to be on here.
I'm just as excited.
Just gonna have a chat with you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. Dude, I'm excited to chat with you because when I was speaking to the boys, I was like, this guy, he's got some talent and he's showing on the main stage, and I just want to know the origin story about yourself. So tell me where it all began. When did you first pick up video games? How were you introduced into it? And go from there for me, please, for the audience.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't really play like a lot of video games growing up. Like in my primary school years, I sort of got a PlayStation 4. Like I never really had a PS3. I just pretty much played the DS, the little shitty DS and PSPs. But yeah, got a PS4 late. And just started falling in love with like COD and like Battlefield. And then yeah, eventually sort of moved away from COD and got Siege on the PlayStation, and yeah, fell in love with Siege, and that's pretty much been my main game ever since it came out. So yeah, got a PC to sort of play comp, because that's where the competitive scene is. And yeah, I don't know. What happened? I moved over with a team, I should say, is they're called Extricity, and we were like an under 18 team at the time, and we saw some success. We went to a LAN in Sydney. And yeah, that was pretty cool because we were like the first under 18 to do that, under 18 team to do that. And then from there, yeah, sort of got picked up by the roster that I'm on now, which has sort of changed over time. But yeah, it's led us to Chiefs, and yeah, I'm thankful for it.
That's awesome, man. So how many championships have you got on your belt?
Oh, I don't really like calling them championships, but in ANZ it's 3.
Yeah, we're calling them championships here on this podcast, mate. Don't you worry. Okay, it's all about the gas. Hey, you're on the Chiefs, mate. We got to gas it up. Okay, we got to gas that shit up. So you started with a different team. And I understand from a competitive point, when you're grinding your way through the ranks, you find a game, you have a bit of a passion for it, and you're trying to get your foot in the door. So for people listening, how did you do that? I understand that you were with this team before you joined Chiefs. How was it leading up to joining? Like, yeah. Tell me about the struggles and your own performance and whatnot. And how did you go with that? How did you deal with it and trying to stand out?
I was pretty lucky that I sort of came across with a bunch of boys from PlayStation, and we were pretty like, you know, a tight knit group, and sort of stuck it out. And that's what I always pretty much say is, like, you know, find a group of lads that are, you know, willing to learn and sort of dedicate some time to the game and just stick it out. You always see teams do way better when they stick it out and play with each other for a longer time. You build that chemistry, and yeah, it just seems to work better. So I think me focusing on sort of building that chemistry with my team led us to success. And then obviously when you see that little bit of success, your name just gets put out there, and people start to notice us. So yeah, it was just I was sort of lucky in a way, yeah, that I had, you know, some really good mates that we came across, and we were all pretty dedicated, and a couple of us were pretty nutty. So yeah, it just helped.
No, that's awesome. So you've been pretty much with the same squad that is with Chiefs right now through the day one in a way.
Not quite, because that under 18 team we disbanded after not sort of qualifying for this one LAN.
Yep.
And then it was sort of that time where I was turning 18. I was finishing my last year, and another bloke in our team was sort of taking school seriously. He was heading into VCE.
Yep.
And had higher expectations of school. So yeah, and then another one sort of got a job. So it was just sort of leading into that direction where a couple were leaving. It was just hard to sort of keep the team going. And the team had been together for like 2 years. So yeah, we all sort of stepped away from the game, took a little bit of a break, and then a couple of us re-entered the game and started taking it seriously after school was finished.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And so how do you find, how were your parents' reaction when you first started becoming a video gamer? Like, you know, you started with Call of Duty, and then you moved over, and then you moved back to Battlefield, and then you went to Rainbow Six Siege. How did they take the transition in? Like, were they on your bum about doing your certificates for year 12? And run me through that, man, because I understand the pressure there. So tell me, because you're in this part of your life where what you do, you're young, and you in year 12 or year 11, 10, whatever.
Yeah, no, I always think about that because at first it was hard. Like I had my dad in me ear about doing well at school. Then I had my stepdad wanting me to, get outside and not, sit on my bum playing games. So at the start, they definitely weren't on board with the whole idea of just like gaming. I stuck to it though. I kept going.
Yep.
And yeah, it sort of it's hard because I can never really understand why an organization pays you to play a game and sort of makes sense to that. So even now, like it only starts to they only start to sort of like respect it, I guess, in a way when you start heading overseas or traveling domestically. Yeah, for this game, so that they start to sort of respect it now and sort of understand. I still haven't had that conversation though, that this is what I do and this is exactly what it is. It's just what I do, and they've sort of just asked me about it every now and then. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one because I still don't know how to answer it.
Mate, you got to be like 40 years old still playing, and you still haven't had the conversation, bro.
Yeah.
So
I'm still doing it, guys.
I love it, man. I love it. Look, it's a funny one. I can relate to that with when I first started like playing a bit of competitive Call of Duty, and then going from that to streaming. And at the first they're like, what's going on? And then you're like, oh well, I get a few $100 a month and whatnot, and it's pretty cool. You meet awesome people around the world, and prime example of something cool about that is like when I went to Optus, one of the buddies, shout out to my boy Tim Bellery, he actually works for an airline, and he upgraded my ticket to like a business class ticket just on the return. So it's just like, well, if I didn't do this, then I would never have known that awesome dude, man. And it's just crazy, man. The connections that you learn and get from gaming is just huge, man. But look, I really want to know what it's like in the day of a life. Like, you've got a contract. This is your full-time job, correct?
Yeah, I don't have another job.
Yeah,
no,
so
this is what I do.
Tell me about it. Run me through the day. You wake up, you eat, go to sleep, train, gym, practice. Tell me about it, man. Catch up with friends. Tell me. Full week.
I'm doing 2 subjects at uni right now, so sort of part-time, not really doing like 4 or 3. So just a bit of uni on the side and yeah, gaming. So it's not that interesting. I just sort of if I had it off because we came out of lockdown, so I wasn't going to gym. But I feel like after I came back from Sweden, like now I'll sort of get back into it. So normally I'd like to say that 3-4 times a week I'll head to gym in the morning, come back, shower, and then sort of just hop on the computer and train whatnot, muck around, and then maybe start scrims, from Monday to Friday. So like that's from like 6, 7 to like 10, 11. So so like 3-4 hours a night on scrims, and then after that it's just again chill and then head to bed. That's pretty much a rinse and repeat from Monday to Friday. I really try and get a balance. So see mates throughout the weekend, throughout the day if they're free, or on the weekends, because I can't do the one thing. Even with Siege, you get sick of it after 3 months straight of playing it. So just that week break is really needed for me. And even throughout the season, just making sure I maintain that sort of relationship with friends, because at the start you can really get stuck into the game and stuck into your room. So you really got to maintain that balance and keep up with friends and stay in touch. So and I just love that sort of scene as well, like catching up and going out. So that's pretty much my weekly schedule.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. And so, you obviously hit the gym. What's the, I can see the dumbbells in the background. So during lockdown, you were pumping some weights, getting the big boy turtle to give you a spot or something like that. But what do you train at gym, man? What are you hitting these days? What are you doing? What's the routine?
When I was doing it, I had my own little workout on my phone that I sort of rinse and repeat. So
yep.
I think Mondays and Wednesdays I was doing like my chest and my tris, and then the rest of the week I was doing my legs, and I had a couple of back workouts, but nothing too special. I'm looking to really get into it though this sort of time around. Summer's coming around, so I'm looking to get the rig out.
Yeah, well, okay.
And get into shape.
Have you got a missus?
I don't. So.
Oh, here we go. On the prowl. He's on the prowl.
You sound like my mates that were out.
He's on the prowl, ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen this guy? He went to Sweden and represented the country for the Chiefs.
Oh, you're a dead ringer of my mates. You're a dead ringer.
Oh, Risco, mate.
This guy plays games.
That's a good pickup line, mate. Hey, there we go.
It's not.
Yeah, they're probably like, this guy doesn't even touch grass, or the beach. In your case, mate, you want to get the beach rig out. So, no, I love it, man. I love it, dude. So, run me through that. Like, you know, so we've got a coach. Like 5 years ago, esports didn't really have coaches, man. So, tell me the role of the man turtle himself.
We got 3 coaches.
3?
Technically. So we got a coach and then an analyst, and then we've also got a psychologist.
Okay.
So yeah, we 3 and yeah, my mates can't wrap that around their heads either. It's like, what, you got 3 coaches? Why do you need that for? So no, yeah, Turtle's our like coach, manager, sort of organizes our scrims and is our sort of communication line from Chiefs to us. Yep. Although Chiefs are pretty good like that, they sort of talk to all of us. And yeah, so he just sort of spectates us and sort of, takes a step back and looks at the team from a, bird's eye view, I guess. Yeah, no, it's good. It's especially like throughout Sweden, Turtle's sort of organizing everything, and it's just sort of handy as a player because you want to be able to focus on your game and that's it. You don't want to also have the responsibilities of all this other stuff. Like there's a lot that goes into it. Like, even just like communication between the tournament organizers, like that's another whole sort of can of worms. So yeah, no, it's having Turtles, a huge help, and definitely wouldn't underestimate his job because yeah, it's timely for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So run me through the other 2 roles, so the psychologist and the analyst. Let's start with the analyst first, and then we'll go to the psychologist. What do they do for you guys?
So analyst, he's called Hal. His name's Baptiste. He lives in France.
Yep.
And he sort of spectates our opponents, spectates ourselves at times, and just sort of documents it all and sort of puts it in graphs and makes it really easy for us to view these statistics that we're sort of wondering about. If we're ever wondering about bands or maps or looking at a certain VOD, we don't have to search through and sift through all the VODs and all the videos. It's just there and it's in the Discord. So he's really good and he's really organized, and he's also a huge help. And he in generally, like, he's just really good at like his knowledge of the game is pretty up to date with us. So having his opinion there is really good as well, and he works closely with some of our players. So yeah, no, he's a huge help. And
for the psychologist,
yeah, Michelle's been good. Michelle, Pocket Psych, she especially at the first, when we used her at first, she was like a huge help in terms of like how we commed. Yeah, we're not like shouting down each other's ears, and also being able to just adjust our comms when they do get too high or when they're too low, and just maintaining vibes. No, she's been a huge help and helped us, lift our area of like our area of like just, I guess, vibes. I don't know, like we call it like levels, but yeah. So just making sure that we're all up and about and we're approaching the game with a good attitude.
Yeah, right. Maybe she needs a job title of like vibe coordinator or something.
Yeah,
like
almost.
It's definitely not a stereotypical psychologist. Like I picture. You go in there, Mr. Digital, and you lay down on the long couch, the nice couch with your book or your hands on your chest, and you're just like, yeah, so I'm just been pondering. I made this really bad play in round 11. I assume it's not just that, but yeah, that's interesting about the whole the way you guys communicate with each other and stuff. And I can tell that it would definitely get heated. No matter how good of mates you guys are, you guys have to be like brothers. You'll have your fights and stuff, but at the end of the day, you got to perform on the day, and it's just about overcoming that. And like, how do you find putting, like, if, say for example, someone rips into you, how do you take on board the feedback and whatnot? Like, how do you go with that the next day?
Surprisingly, we don't, like, I think we're all just like smart like that, and I'll gas each other up. We're all pretty like good like that. Like, no one's really ripping into another person because they don't really need to. Like
Yep.
we'll just say it straight and, you know, say where we went wrong. And,
Yep.
and the guy or person that, you know, has done something wrong will put their hand up and say, yeah, no, I fucked up. So it never really gets to that stage where we're fighting. Maybe a couple of, you know, passionate discussions, but nothing too hard or harsh. Yeah, mainly because I think we're just sort of I forgot the word, but we're all just like, yeah, you put your hand up when you're wrong, and
Accountability.
accountable. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. We're accountable of our actions, and yeah, no. So it's doesn't need to get to that stage. I think. Yeah, and I think a lot of teams should learn off that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. Like you were saying at the start of the podcast, that it all comes down to a good team bond, the way you guys work with each other. And if all the cogs are turning and you're well oiled, then you've got, instead of one pair of eyes communicating, you've kind of got 5 pair of eyes communicating across the board. And you like, depending on how well they communicate, which I'm sure is great. Well, you already know that someone's on X balcony or on Y level and all that type of stuff. So they have a really good communication. It just helps you visualize as well in your brain as well as what you're doing as well in a first person shooter. Yeah. When you found out about going to Sweden, how did you feel? What was the vibe? So leading into it, you had to win a qualifier. Was it over here to then go overseas?
Yeah, it was a qualifier, yeah, and it was a massive sort of relief, I think, because we had a game prior to this qualifiers where we could have, had we just won that one game, we would have been sent automatically. And we lost that game, and dude, the feeling was just like my heart sank. It was a game we definitely should have won. It was, you know, we were the top seed and we were versus the bottom seed.
Oh,
and yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't want to describe that feeling. I don't want to feel it again. So, feeling that way just sort of maybe even just made us hungry. And, it was a huge, thing to overcome that. And we just smashed through the qualifiers and didn't drop a map. So, the qualifiers was like 2 best of 1s, and then a best of 3. And we got sent off. And yeah, I was excited, for sure, you're heading off to Sweden. But when we were 1 game away, I can't, help but, tell my mates, all of my mates that do follow, sort of get into my head about it, go, you're 1 game away, aren't you? And they're asking, you got to Sweden, and then telling them that, no, we're not anymore. Or we're not, at least for now.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was hard because you had to sort of face that reality, but we got there in the end, and massive sigh of relief just getting there. But no, I was excited for sure.
I know the boys worked very hard to get the visas happening from New Zealand and whatnot, and they had to do that even before you played that game to qualify you, which is, it just goes to show how much love and passion that the Chiefs have. The boys there, Josh, Voltrus, Nick, AK, they really are fucking legends. Let's be real here, man.
For sure.
They're great to communicate. They're great blokes, and they just have that passion for us to succeed, which is great. And that's what we need more of in our region, because we seem to kind of get EU, America, and what it just goes over the top. So, run me through when you went overseas, you landed. There's obviously seeding. Who was your first match, and are you shitting yourself? Because I know that with Call of Duty, because that's what I'm based with a lot, I have more knowledge with. I know that when the Australian teams like Mindfreak and Tainted Minds used to go over, when you're the top of the competition, it's hard to learn. You can't learn and teach yourself more unless you play and put those reps in against the better team. So you're learning as you go, which is it. It's crazy that you guys get wins, let alone that you're beating, you're smashing people, bro. And I love it. You guys are going over there dominating, and you guys are literally learning and playing at the same time. And for these guys, it's just reps. And run me through that pressure, because if you come up against FaZe and stuff, you're just like, man, holy crap. But you give them a run for your money. Dude, tell me about it. First game, tell me how that went, and throughout the tournament, dude. Tell me your feelings, your vibe, how you felt, everything. That's awesome. Yeah,
so it was... getting there in the first place was sort of our attitude was just okay, let's sort of enjoy it here, have fun with it. Preferably we would have headed over a week or 2 weeks prior and got a bit of a boot camp session, or a bit of a, just sort of scrimming the opponents, getting a feel of the some really good quality siege. Yeah, but when we went in, so yeah, we had a group. Our group was FaZe, Rogue, and OXG, Oxygen. And our first game was against Rogue, and playing against them, we were literally we were 6-4 up, and we lost 7-8, unfortunately, but we were just having so much fun with it. Like, that game was like genuinely so much fun. And after that, we versed FaZe. FaZe are so good. They smashed us. They won the whole thing, by the way. They smashed us.
Yep.
And then OXG, we beat them twice. They had their coach in, so they weren't really at full capacity. But yeah, got 2 wins over them, and then we versed Rogue. Lost to them 7-1, but that game was pretty close. Like, that game had a lot of close rounds, so I feel like the scoreline doesn't, properly show how close the game was. And then we versed FaZe again, and they smashed us, bro. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, that's far out.
There's a reason why they're the best in the world, and
I know
the biggest at that.
They're
crazy.
FaZe is just everywhere, mate. They're in your head rent free across every game, and every time they field a team, it's always the best. And it's just like the funding that they have, and you got to give them props, to the boys over there, Temper, Banks, and RAINE and whatnot, dude. They've built it from Call of Duty. Once again, you came from Call of Duty, man. So
I'm massive fans of them. Growing up, I was watching them all the time.
Everyone's coming from Call of Duty, my man. So even Optic have one team, and they nearly won esports. They were nominated for esports team of the year. Like, they have one team. It's just insane. But when I was looking through the roster of FaZe, Ninjas in Pajamas, Team One, BDS, and whatnot, dude, this Bullet One guy. His hair, he looks like he's from the Matrix, man, dude. Is he? I don't. When I was watching, because it was fairly new for myself, I wasn't paying attention to who the other players were. I was just watching you boys. But how's he as a player and whatnot? Because he has a crazy, unique look. He looks sick.
Yeah, he's nuts. Like all the people on FaZe are really good mechanically, and they're all like really good blokes at it as well. Like just talking with them. I think like 2 of them, one of them speaks like really broken English, but the other one's like pretty good at it. And so his name's Cameron, and he was sort of translating for the boys, and they were good. We had some really healthy discussions with those boys. I'm happy that these boys that are the best in the world, or best in the world right now, are also really humble and happy to have a chat with us. So they were keen to see us at another event, and said that we just need to give it time and practice and whatnot, and we'll be back competing more than ever. So yeah, no, just really cool to see.
No, it's awesome, mate. Were you over there fanboying a little bit, like freaking out?
I was,
bro.
You're
just playing it cool, like, how you doing, mate?
My name's RAINE. I felt when we first came to them, I just sort of stood there. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Trying to just pump a question out and just like gaze at this folk. Like, it was just so weird that imagine for the whole tournament, you're just sort of walking and you're just seeing like all these people that you've sort of been like watching on a stream for so long. And I'm just like looking at them. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like starstruck. So weird. I'm just keen to get back out there and do it again.
That's awesome, man. And like, I know that when you meet someone big, you're like, what was your first question, mate, to one of them? What was your first question, mate? What did you go with? How you doing? Did you put on a deeper voice?
Yeah, 100%. Sort of puffed my chest up a little bit.
Yeah.
It was right after we versed them, and I think we just sort of went over there. I literally just started, like, I just said, bro, you're not like crazy. Your reaction time is nuts. I think that was like my first thing. So it wasn't even a question. It was me just sort of rubbing him off legit. So I literally, just sort of said he was really good. And then I think Ethan or one of the other boys was just sort of asking them questions about the game. And then they asked us questions about the game. Like, why weren't we bringing this up or whatnot? And we just, I don't know. It just went from there.
Awesome.
It was good.
Man.
Like, yeah.
No, that's awesome, dude. A little bit starstruck, especially in your own sport. I know that Alex Glenn was talking about when he received a ball from Darren Lockyer, I know that Jack Viney the other week was saying when he was kicking the ball with Luke Hodge. So everyone has that little moment. And look, man, you never know. You could be living over there full time soon, and you could just be hanging out with the boys. And then when it comes to tournament day, you just tie their shoelaces together, man, and you just hope that you beat them. You know, give them one of those little shoelace ties together.
Signing a contract with FaZe, who knows?
Oh, here we go. You've heard it first here. AK, Nick, Josh, Mike, what's going on? What's going on here, man? Okay, calm down. Sorry, boys. Just pipe down there, mate. It's pipe down. But yeah, that's freaking amazing. That is amazing. And like I was saying, bro, every team that you guys beat, I'm just like, cop it, mate. Because the thing about you guys as well is that you guys are a wild card. So people don't know much about you. You know a lot about them going in, but you haven't had the reps. So they come in, they probably play their usual game, and they're probably like, what the fuck? These Aussies are fucking weird, dude. You know, and
it's always Aussies.
The Aussies?
Always.
The Aussies and Digital. So, yeah, but that was the advantage that you guys have. And I'm sure you guys probably would have gone in saying play to your strengths. And just do what you do. Do what you do, mate. But look, man, the whole Sweden thing, congratulations. That's a huge achievement and whatnot. But look, I really want to understand a little bit more about your transition from controller to keyboard and mouse. How did you find that changing games and changing the transition, man? How long did it take? Tell me.
Tough. At first, and this is me being like just on like anyone that's like sort of like decent at a controller. Like believe me, the switch to mouse and keyboard isn't that hard. You just sort of you got to be consistent with it at first. Like you got to acknowledge like the first month, 2 months is going to be like hard, and it's going to feel like you suck, but you just get used to it. I remember when I first like went over to PC, I was like really considering. I was like, maybe if I just like plug my controller and I could maybe hang out with these blokes, maybe, because I was just so paranoid about like getting good at a keyboard and mouse. So yeah, I don't know. I stuck it out and eventually it just sort of came to you. And yeah, I think, and you see it all the time, like all these PS4 players come across and play PC Siege. So they all get used to it. And some that come across are literally insane. So you just got to stick at it and give it time.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. And myself, I can't play keyboard and mouse. I've played a few times. I'm actually all right, but I just stay away from it, dude. The last time I played keyboard and mouse before playing on stream was probably in high school. It was when I played the most. When I went to an all boys school, so we'd always be playing like CS:GO. We'd call it chicken sub, the good old famous chicken sub roles that they do at high school tuck shops, and the boys would be versing each other, classroom to classroom on LAN connection, bro. So we had without the big stages and flashy lights, but we had that. And then we had a teacher, ref, yelling at us, hey, what's the question to this? And you're like, oh shit, Alt tab out of the game and stuff. But it was wild. But throughout high school, you were gaming, weren't you, correct?
Yeah, I was playing Siege. So this is when I was in my under 18 team.
So how old are you now?
Siege and I'm 20.
20. Okay, so a couple years. And when did Siege come out? Was it 15?
Yeah, 15. End of 15.
End of 15. Yeah, thought so. Okay, so you had a couple of years during... Yeah, I understand. Okay, and the pressure was definitely there to perform at school and balance it, and then you've got 18ths and stuff, and you've got so much on your plate, man. You've got, honestly, so much. But what are you studying at university?
I'm doing Bachelor of Marketing and Communication, advertising. So, yeah, I like the course. It's good. But I just can't do 4 subjects. It's just too much. So,
yep.
Because I feel like if I was doing just uni and Siege, then maybe.
Yep.
But I need to get out and I need to do something. So 2 subjects right now, I think it's the right balance. I'm not sort of hating it, and I'm sort of liking all aspects of what I'm doing. So yeah, I think I'll just keep it that way.
Yeah, awesome, man. And how did you go? If you can remember, because I know that we all kind of can, but if you can remember back in the day, one of the boys just asked in the podcast in my Discord about. How was your first game, your competitive game that you first jumped into on keyboard and mouse? How did you go? You would remember it, surely.
I actually strangely don't. It would have been some like shitty like $120 tournament or something with like 8 teams. Like it would have been one of those. Like I can't remember. I remember my first scrim
Yep.
And that was like, that for me was like big in itself. Like I was just like so excited to scrim.
Yep.
Like it was so weird. Like I remember like we took it so seriously. I'm like there warming up for 2 hours and we're like sort of dry running, which is like, you know, you're prepping in little custom games and like what you're going to do. I'm literally scoping this like team out when right now, like a scrim's a scrim. You hop on and you just play. Like it's, yeah, I took it. I remember that like it was yesterday. I just was so excited and was so pumped for these scrims. It was just funny.
Hey, this might be a random question, but because you're always on a keyboard and mouse all day, do you do any exercises for your arms and wrists and shoulders and stuff? Because I know that when you play, like myself, I know that I pull up a little bit sore playing that type of stuff. So tell me about that, man. Adapting.
No, definitely. I find actually when I am exercising, which is rarely, I need to like I feel better with my arms. So definitely, even just like simple, like just rubbing your wrists and sort of just like stretching it out is really good especially because I like use my wrist a lot when I'm aiming. So yeah, definitely some wrist sort of on my right hand a lot. Stretching it out and just moving it, getting it warmed up is definitely the play because you don't want to, you know, injure it or anything.
No, and I feel like for yourself, your hands are everything. So everything that you do, you've got to be like, oh, do I hop on this dirt bike? Or do I do a mosh pit? Oh, nah, honey, I don't want to hold hands with you tonight when we go for dinner. Hold my left hand.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You probably go out with boxing gloves on or tape yourself up so your hands are protected, man. But look, one last question before we head off for the afternoon. And once again, thank you for your time. But whereabouts do you store your butter? In the fridge or the pantry?
Do I store my butter?
Yeah.
Mine's in the fridge. Yeah. But yeah, fridge for sure. I have been to a mate's house and his mum wakes up at 6 a.m. and she leaves it out in the morning for like everyone in the house. And I sort of rated it, but mine's in the fridge.
Okay.
Mine's in the fridge. What about you?
Me? Oh, the first time someone's asked me, I keep it in the pantry. I live in Melbourne, so it's a little bit cooler. And I find that whenever you get fresh bread, if you butter your bread when it's fresh and doughy, it will just ball up if it's in the fridge. It's too hard.
No, 100%. That's why I commented on my friend's mum doing it. She left it out and it just sort of like went on the bread so easy. And I just sort of, this is actually not bad of an idea. So, I rate it. I don't use the butter enough. I don't really like eating bread in the morning.
Yep.
But if I did start to, I think I would almost leave it out as well.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Just for that one experience where I just sort of popped it on my bread and was like, geez, this is really easy. It's not curling up in the bread and ripping the bread apart.
Yep, that's exactly my point. And we're going to wrap it up right there, man. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out my boy, Digital. Where can we find you, man, across the socials?
Mainly just Twitter. My Twitter will have my Twitch linked as well. So yeah, it's digital_R6 is my Twitter.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And to everyone in the chat and watching and listening right now, thank you so much for tuning in. Until then, remember to be safe, stay swole, and as always, boom, baby.